Hello everyone, welcome again to yet another episode of the FusionXPower. That was loud.
Yes, I'm excited.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, because I just celebrated my birthday last month, October.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Happy belated birthday. I know I was at the party. It was a lovely one.
Exactly.
If you're not there, you missed out.
Exactly.
Again, more years to come. Wishing you all the best life to offer.
Easy.
I would say keep flourishing.
Easy.
Oh my god, that was really loud, Agnes.
Yeah.
She's a drama queen, if you don't know her. So again, we want to welcome
positive
you.
one.
Yes, sir. And
we have to have negative and positive. So I'm the positive
drama queen.
Yeah.
Good one. So we want to welcome you again to yet another episode of the FusionXPower, a show that is here to empower you, motivate you, bring out the real person in you, and also to make you feel good. Again, if you have not subscribed to our social media platform, please do. We are FusionXPower on all our platforms. We're begging you to do, as we said, the comment encourages us to do more, and we want that comment from you, and also to keep you updated when we upload our next video. Agnes, what do we have today?
Well, I'm glad to be here again. This place is like home now for me.
Oh, bless.
I sleep, eat, drink, FusionXPower. Yeah. So we have International Day Against Violence. You know, last month we talked about violence.
Yes, I was so.
And I'm glad that
this month
we are here again talking about violence, but we have different forms of violence. And this one we are going to talk about is something that you, myself, and everybody that have a child or a young person can be the worst nightmare for all of us. So it's the International Day against bullying in schools, and the last bit of it, we're going to talk on cyberbullying among young people from primary school. You know, when we were doing the research, we were shocked to see that children as young as 7, 8 years old with smartphone are being bullied. You know, so yes, so that's what we're here for. And parents, please
get your popcorn, sit down.
Yes, and if you do have this type of concern for your young person, kindly contact the school. The school have so many resources. Contact your local police station. You know, go and research more about it. We always encourage to research, and Google is our big brother. Google is our big brother here, so we want you to use Google as your big brother too. Everything we talk about here, please, you need to go and do more research so that you will be able to signpost people, because we are in this life to protect one another. You know. Yes.
So again, the topic is quite a heavy one, just knowing what parents or carers go through with kids being bullied. For me, I will start by saying charity begins at home. So most kids are being bullied because they have low self-esteem. It might not be the case for everyone, but that is one, from our research, that is one of the reason of a child being subject to bullying. So when I say charity begins at home, is to have that one-to-one time with your kids, to let them know when they should say no and when they should say yes, and when they should speak up for themselves.
You remember you were talking about educating our children about social media, right? Yes. So I think we can talk a little bit into that, on how us as adults, we have the responsibility. We should not leave everything to school. Remember, the first educational institution that these children attend
is your home.
Is your home. So you have to set your child right before even they start going school. You know what this is for, what this is not for, how they can use social media, how they themselves can be responsible.
And also, I would quickly like to intrude to say, be your children's friend.
Yes.
Or if it's not your child but you're the carer, be their friend, because you feel comfortable speaking to your friend, telling them how it goes, and also don't forget to ask them how was their day at school.
Yes.
It should be a routine.
A routine.
Because all these things are accumulated.
Yeah.
Things that are not dealt with, it accumulates, and before they know, either it might even be your child who is the bully. You understand what I mean? So, but they don't just become bully because they want to be bullied.
It's something
they've intimidated them severally, or a lot of things have happened. If you have treated it, maybe the day they came back from school, it wouldn't have led to that. If someone comes back, my son, to be sincere, recently told me, he's quite young, he's in year 2, and he says 3 of his friends were hitting him at the same time.
Oh no.
So I had to say I will go and speak to the teacher.
Exactly.
But what I'm trying to say, that if we do not have that conversation asking him how was school today, he wouldn't have the effrontery or the chance to even tell me what happened. So I will still stress on that word, the relationship you have with your kids, which I think Africans needs to do better in that angle.
Yeah, that's
the fact that we are all in diaspora chasing ends means what to do.
Chasing the money and losing our kids. That's what happened.
It's a bad one. It's a bad one. And to be sincere, most cases I've seen, once you've lost it, you've lost it. It's hard for you to turn back the hand of the clock. And this can be associated to things that are happening with kids here in the UK. We're in London, so we'll make more reference to things happening in the United Kingdom. And I want to say that first of all, for me, is the relationship we need to build with our kids. Or if you're a carer to any child, you need to build that relationship so that the child will be free to speak to you, because there's a lot. We'll give instance of cyberbullying that have led to kids committing suicide and also taking their own life in one way or the other.
Remember the BlackBerry? BlackBerry, when that riot happened in London, the McDougal riot, they have to shut down BlackBerry.
Okay.
They shut down BlackBerry Messenger by then, because that's what these young people were using to invite each other to come. We are here and there, and there was a whole. So you see, that was a very, very tough time. Even the Metropolitan Police couldn't contain that. Except BlackBerry have to shut down. That's why you see BlackBerry went out of market, because before BlackBerry was the real deal, not iPhone or Samsung Ultra and all of that. It was BlackBerry. After that incident, this is to show you the power of social media. Now we have some children who will take other children's videos and photos, they put it on social media, and you have other people coming, they are writing horrible statement, and we have kids, unfortunately, who have unlived themselves because of the bullying from school. So that is why, like, when days like this come, it should be the business of every adult to ensure this. This day, International Day Against Violence and Bullying at school, cyberbullying. Do you know what it means? For these days to be observed, there has been other children who have lost their lives. So that's why we all have responsibility, to nurture our children, Although as parents you can try your best, but as long as you have done your own bit, whereby you educate them, you tell them how to be nice to another child,
to be streetwise,
and to
be aware of things.
Yes, to be aware of things that are happening. But it's really worrying now, like in London, last year we have over 23 kids who unlived themselves because of cyberbullying. We also have young people who commit violence on Snapchat live. You know, the case study we are watching, this young guy shoot and on live his girlfriend live on TikTok, America. So there is a whole lot more danger, you know, like for school bullying, you know, I don't know what can be your own take in terms of parents dealing with their child being bullied in school, because sometimes the school support the bullying.
For me, I think the parents has to do a lot, or the carer of that child needs to be involved.
Proactive.
100% correct. If I want to ask, how many of us go to kids' parents' evening and all those stuff just to lay your concerns? Like me, I don't sweep things under the carpet. Once I see this thing, I raise an alarm. But people will just see it and commonize it. We should not commonize things like that. When your kids come back home and say, my mate did this, my mate did that, I don't want to say tooth for tooth, but I always encourage my kids to speak for himself, but still go to the school and tell the teacher, this is what he said happened. Please look out for these things not to happen again. And if possible, you speak to the parents of those kids as well, that this is what my son said your son did to my son.
But if I can interject a little, some parents, they are as bad as their children.
How do you mean?
The moment you approach a parent that, can we talk, this is what my child have said, they will fight you.
Really?
Yes. It's a whole, you can't try that in London here. You can't, there are certain boroughs, like in Sodom,
don't you think is the approach? Don't you think is the approach?
Even if you approach them, there has been instances where a mother have physically used weapon on another mother, because the mother calmly approach and say, hi, you know, you are so and so son. Oh, later, and some you cannot.
Oh, wow, okay.
You just cannot. So I think if your child, for you to be safe, and do you know you remember the incident that happened in Woolwich when that mother came out and beat that girl in school, outside the school compound? You remember that?
Yeah.
This is as a result of another parent approaching that your daughter is like abusing my child, is like disturbing my child a lot. Can you speak to your child and look what it resulted? This is in Woolwich. So for me, to be on the safe side, I would say approach the school.
Okay.
If the school you see they are doing the dilly-dalla, like
painting it,
walking slow around the situation, what you need to do, you get the governors. And if the governors are not doing anything, you have the head of the local borough who is in charge of the school. You get the police involved. You know, I think that is the safest route you can go.
I'm a proud school governor, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Go to the school governor. You know, that's why you need to know your child. School governor, who to speak to, and that independent. These are independent bodies that will look into your child's situation. Or better say, I will say you move your child to another school.
Do you know, before now, I do not really think that they expel kids here, like when they do things wrong. But being a school governor, you get to know things that are really happening in the school. Okay, why they are short of teachers, why some kids are expelled, why some kids are late, why do some kids need support because their parents might be ill, they can't bring them to school. A lot of things I just felt, okay. Sometimes you were outside judging, you don't really need